Okay, hello everyone. Today is Sunday, September 20th, 2015. Yeah, we are 2/3 through the month of September already, if you can believe it. I am Darkside Phil, and welcome to today's gameplay stream, which is the continuation of Metal Gear Solid 5. Thank you for being here. For those of you who are the early comers, the early attendees, for those who wanted to hear pre-stream, I'm excited. As you know, I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5 ever since September 1st, the day when it was released. And although I certainly haven't been playing it consistently every single day, I've been trying to play it more than anything else this month. And we've gotten pretty damned far for a game that has required around 50 hours of gameplay to beat it. I'm almost there. At this point, I think I've got a few required side missions, a few required story missions. A million people messaged me over the past several days since the last time I played the game and told me there is a special cutscene that I should definitely check out at the medical platform, so I'll be doing that today if I remember to. I think I will, though, since so many people told me to do it. And it's looking like probably, maybe including today, 2 to 3 more streams of Metal Gear Solid 5, and we should be wrapping it up. Of course, keep in mind, this week we have a new release. This week we have Soma, the new survival horror game from the makers of Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and that's going to take up a big chunk of our time. So I'm not going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 5 as much as I have previous weeks, but I'm still going to be playing it a decent amount. So it should be good, and I'm hoping, my goal here, as I told everyone at the beginning of this month, was that I would finish Metal Gear Solid 5 by the end of the month. At this time, unless there's other kind of crazy circumstances that happen that prevent me from being able to stream every day, it looks like that should definitely happen. And that's good, because that means that I'll be able to review the game. We'll be able to move on from Metal Gear Solid 5 into new games and new content in the month of October and not have to worry about, oh no, getting pulled back, And October, boy, is October stacking up to be an even more busy month. Just in the past few weeks, there's been a Witcher 3 DLC announced. There's the first episode of Minecraft Story Mode from Telltale Games that's going to be released. In addition to all the games that month that I want to play, like Transformers Devastation and Disgaea 5, and Dragon Quest Heroes, and Yoshi's Woolly World, and Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and Halo 5, WWE 2K16. Also keep in mind that month I'm going to be doing Ask the King, and I'm going to be doing, possibly, a Halloween special marathon if we hit all our goals on Patreon in the month of September. So, in addition to all of that, something that directly relates to what we're doing today, Metal Gear Solid Online is also supposed to launch in the month of October. And some people now at this point are starting to ask me, will I be playing it, will I not be playing it? Every day I'm getting a few tweets and questions and emails. And the answer to that question is going to lie solely dependent on a few factors, okay? So let's talk a little bit about that on the pre-stream today. Number one, it's going to depend on if it works. And the reason I'm saying that, and a lot of people might say, what does Phil mean? If you haven't heard, I talked about this on my Hate Live podcast this past Thursday. I hope you'll check out the podcast if you haven't yet, because it's one of the most informative in a long time. I talked about so many different gaming news stories and stuff. But one of the news stories is that this past week, Konami, the game company, the publisher, the developer of Metal Gear Solid 5, now that they've basically severed their ties with Kojima, publicly stated this week that they will no longer focus on AAA game development, period. Meaning everyone who was working on big console games and PC games is done. They're only going to be focusing on pachinko games and other mobile games, and that's it. So, just think about that. Just think about what that statement means. Let's say Metal Gear Solid Online comes out in the month of October, and it has issues. Well, Konami has said, that's it, we're done. We're done with AAA game development. So all their resources are going towards mobile games and pachinko games. That means if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Unless there's so much of a clamor from the gaming community saying, no, fuck you, we bought the game, and, we were promised this online mode, it better work, and they feel like they're kind of forced into it. But I'm going to be honest here. I mean, this is my honest take on it. I do not feel confident that they are going to put any time or effort into getting Metal Gear Solid Online to work. So it's kind of like a fingers crossed kind of deal. When this thing launches in October, if it works, great. We'll all play it and we'll have some fun with it. But if it doesn't work, you know, we're all kind of screwed. And this is what we've been talking about for months here, is that Konami, after severing their ties with Kojima and Kojima's team, basically has gone right down the fucking shitter as a game developer. And I think the best way that we can all tell them how much we hate their decisions is to not buy their mobile games. They got all these mobile games they're apparently working on. Most people should just say fuck you and not buy the games and have the company tank. And then maybe they'll redirect their efforts, or they'll kick the management out who made these ridiculously bad decisions. But anyway, I digress. That's number one, the reason why I don't know if I'm going to be playing Metal Gear Solid Online. If it launches and it doesn't work, obviously I'm not going to play it. Number two, like I just mentioned to you, there is a lot of stuff coming out in October. Like, October is a really loaded month. So is November, by the way. But October in particular, we are just going to be slammed with new releases like crazy. And I'm going to be juggling games. And what I'd really like to do is try to finish up all the stuff I'm doing this month, including Metal Gear Solid 5 Story, Mad Max, Fallout New Vegas, Soma, and hopefully finishing up with the Tony Hawk game coming out at the end of the month before we get, you know, locked into all this stuff coming up in October. Now, it could happen that, you know, during the month of October that maybe there is a little bit of slow time. Maybe I don't have as much to do as I originally thought, and then I will play Metal Gear Solid Online, okay? In fact, I actually do want to play Metal Gear Solid Online, okay? But I need to see if I have time and opportunity to do so, okay? Also, the other thing you have to keep in mind is that we've got a bunch of episodic games that I've been playing all year. Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones, and Life is Strange, all of which are coming to their climaxes. All of these games are reaching the end and are going to have their final episodes coming out in the next couple of months, some of which might be in October. So even in addition to all the stuff I just mentioned, we may have even more stuff to do in October. So it's pretty wild. And let me put it this way. At the very least, yes, I would like to at least give one stream or one session of Metal Gear Solid Online gameplay a try. Alright? I don't necessarily think that I'm going to be... Even if I had time, I don't think I would go crazy unless I play it once and I love it. Which, who knows? Because, you know, Metal Gear Solid 5, when I first started playing it, I didn't think I was going to be impressed. And I played it for a few sessions, really wasn't that impressed. And then it started blowing me away. And I really like the game overall now. Now that I've dedicated more time to it and got to the better parts of the game. So in that regard, maybe the same thing will happen. I don't know. But my plans are, I would like to play Metal Gear Solid Online, but there's a lot of factors that may hinder that. We'll see what happens come October. But today, we'll be doing around 2.5 to 3 hours of Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay. And then I'll upload those videos, obviously. Tonight, there will be no second stream tonight for multiple reasons. Number one, I need to film the weekend preview to explain to everyone how I'm covering the new stuff this week and juggling it with the ongoing playthroughs, okay? Number two, I am going to at the very least, film the spoken portion version of the Super Mario Maker review, because now I've played Super Mario Maker for 4 sessions. I've messed with both the level creator, playing user-created levels that were voted really highly by everyone on their little online community. I've also played fan and viewer-created stages. So at this point, I've done a lot in the game, and I feel that I could definitely fairly review the game. And I want to do that. I just don't know if I'm going to have opportunity to both film and edit the entire review tonight. So we'll see. If I do, great. If I don't, I don't know. If I don't have enough time to do it, then maybe I'll just film that portion, and then hopefully during the course of the week, I'll try to slip in a little bit of time for me to finish up editing of the review and releasing it by the end of this week. In addition to that, tonight, I'm going to be watching the WWE Night of Champions pay-per-view, which will be available on WWE Network, which I am a subscriber of. And Leanna and I are both going to watch it. And we're not going to be live tweeting or streaming live tweeting reactions while it's live, because I'm probably still going to be working when it's live. I now live on the West Coast, and, you know, everything is 3 hours behind what it used to be for me on the East Coast. So while that thing's going live, it's only going to be like 5 p.m. here, and I probably will just be finishing up dinner and starting work on something else. But I will definitely be watching that tonight and giving my reactions via Twitter if anyone's interested. If not, I understand it is kind of disappointing for those who used to follow along watching the wrestling commentary show Smart Guys that I used to do. I used to be very, very into wrestling when I had a lot of free time. And now I don't really have that free time anymore. I don't even watch Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or any of the wrestling shows anymore. Very rarely, maybe once a month, I'll tune into them. And then usually I'll watch the pay-per-view. So, in that regard, life changes, and one of the big changes is less free time for me, and because of that, kind of the wrestling coverage has gone away. But, when I do get a chance to watch a pay-per-view or whatever, I do like to at least tweet my reactions to it. So I will be doing that tonight if you're interested, at They Call Me DSP. So you can check that out if you want. And I really don't have that much else to say on the pre-stream. The only thing I'll do is give my usual gratuitous plug, which is for Patreon. My Patreon account, patreon.com/DarksidePhil. For those who pledge in the month of September, $5 or more, you will be able to nominate and vote on what games or game, if you just want to see one major game be played all day. I'll be playing for a Halloween mini marathon on Halloween, October 31st. As long as I hit my top goal level for the month, which I think I will. I've hit $1,250 every single month this year. I don't foresee having a major issue hitting it again. So that'll be a fun Halloween marathon, and you get to nominate and vote. That's a crazy amount of power put into the hands of the patrons. FYI, right now, patrons who pledged for August have nominated the games they want to see me play during an Indie Games mini marathon that's going to happen probably at this point. I'm thinking October 2nd. It's a Friday. It's probably the best time to do it, I'm thinking, because, this week is going to be a shorter week because of Soma, and I was thinking about maybe doing it September 28th, but I want to give everyone a little bit more time to vote, since I'm not going to be putting up the poll to vote on the games. Right now they've nominated, but they haven't voted yet and narrowed it down. So the poll to nominate the games, or to vote on the games, is probably going to go live in a day or two, maybe even tonight. And then, so probably I'm thinking October 2nd will be the mini marathon of indie games. So that should be fun. But yeah, so see, Patreon is great. Because of Patreon, I'm able to take time out from doing all these major playthroughs and take a day a month to mess around a little bit with fun stuff, do mini marathons and stuff like that. And I enjoy doing it. And I hope that you have enjoyed them so far. We already did 2 indie ones. We did 2 Crash Bandicoot marathons. And we may have more coming up, like I said, later this year. So, anyway, check it out, patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Not only, obviously, do you contribute towards these bigger goals, but you get your own private perks, like getting text or verbal shoutouts in my videos, getting your questions answered on Ask the King, the next episode of which, by the way, is October 1st. And in addition to that, you get t-shirts and private Q&A videos. You can even be a part of an upcoming event, like my Thanksgiving multiplayer event or my Christmas holiday event. So, pretty good, pretty good. And then, of course, the final plug that I shall give, and then we'll get started, all right, is my girlfriend Leanna owns her own business. It's actually handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. And I love her soaps. I use her soaps every day when I shower. Haven't used anything but her soaps for the past 2 years. They're much higher quality than what you would just buy in a store. Better scents. They clean your body better. And they're much better for your skin, by the way. They're not detergent bars. They're actual soaps, which are much better than usually what you would buy at a common store. And all kinds of good scents. In fact, she just launched her new fall line of scents a few weeks ago. And I like some of them. A few of them I picked out myself. And they are male-oriented scents. A lot of people say, oh, scented soap, that sounds like something that's for girls. Well, yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. Primarily, yes, women would be the target market, but many men have purchased these items over the course of this year and like them as well. So check out our website. It is etsy.com/shop/theblackcurrant. I'm actually going to type out the web address of her shop in the stream chat. And, of course, I'm talking about the IRC stream chat, not the YouTube stream chat, which no one should be using. I've only said that about 4,000 times. It even says it in the description of the video that stream chat is only there basically for children so that it, deters them from annoying us in our nice, orderly, moderated IRC chat, which has been up since November of last year when I started streaming on YouTube. So check it out. A lot of people have asked me, what's a wax tart melt? A wax tart melt is a way to make your house smell good, and it's an alternative, a much safer alternative to wax candles. Wax candles you have to burn and there's an open flame. So if you have, for example, pets that are constantly running around the house, if you have drapes, stuff like that, things that are a fire hazard, wax tart melts are a safe alternative. Basically, it's a little block of wax that you put inside of a wax tart melter. All it is it heats up the wax and melts it into like a pool of very nice smelling wax, and it makes your house smell good. We use them here. Many of Leanna's customers have said these are awesome, much better than what you could buy in a store. So definitely check it out. And keep in mind, a great gift idea. The holidays are coming up, right? We're now near the end of September. Shit, how quick time flies. I can't believe it. I feel like August just ended, and I was, I feel like I just came back from being sick, and here we are at the end of September. Damn, man. But anyway, I digress. Check out the shop, and that's about it for our pre-stream here today. We're going to get started right now with gameplay. Thanks, everyone, for being here on the stream, and let us begin with the end game of Metal Gear Solid 5. Here we go.